What's up, everybody? We're on a podcast now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about if Warner Bros. Montreal dropped the teaser images for Batman. Now, before I jump into this, I do want to quickly say this. You guys have been doing such an amazing job supporting these videos, supporting the channel over the last couple days, couple weeks. And for those of you that have been with me for so long, and you all know who you are, thank you. I honestly just want to say a really quick in the beginning of this video, thank you. You guys have been doing so great. These videos have been just doing absolutely amazing, and I'm very thankful I have you guys, not just to talk about Batman, which obviously I super love, but to talk about anything, any game, and eventually when movies come back, we'll talk about movies on this channel. Very exciting to be able to do this, and I really do owe you guys a ton for supporting the channel and for supporting me as much as you guys have. So with that being said, with that mushy part out of the way, this is something that maybe would upset people. I don't know if this is something that people are going to leave a lot of dislikes on. Obviously, I'm always prepared for something like that anyway. But okay, so here's the deal. We talked a lot about what Batman could show. We've talked about, when this is all going to happen. Obviously, it's going to happen very soon. We know that. And that ultimately kind of leads to the problem, doesn't it? Because, all right, we've hinted at it in past videos, and now I think it's time to really, in my opinion, call them out. So let's call Warner Bros. Montreal out. What happened to those teaser images? Now, I would have said, and remember, we don't say the word of what is going on around the world, right? YouTube's stupid. We don't want to mess with that. Because of that, I would have said that because everything's been thrown out of whack, maybe they just drop it, right? And it could be silent, and they don't have to tell anybody. And then maybe a while later, when the game's announced, or even past when the game's announced, right? In between when the game's announced, when the game comes out, we hear that, you know what, we were doing these teaser images, and we had this plan that nobody else could have figured out because we struggled to think about it ourselves. But we had this entire plan, and then obviously blank happened, and we couldn't do it. We were all working from home. Things got too hectic. All that stuff. I would have probably said that's fine. I honestly would have. But let's look at the situation. So we knew that they were going to go to E3. Warner Bros. Was going to go to E3. Now, does that absolutely mean that Warner Bros. Montreal was going? No, but okay, we all know that they would, right? It's if you don't believe that, these videos and my personality and what we talk about, right, probably just isn't for you, right? We probably all figured that out by now. So the people watching, like, we all know that Warner Bros. Montreal was going to announce. And in fact, we do, because Jason Schreier, again, formerly of Kotaku, best leaker out there. Again, I don't like the guy for any other reason other than his leaks. He confirmed it. He said, Warner Bros. Montreal, they're going to announce a new Batman game, Rocksteady, Harry Potter. Again, we've been through that, right? So they were going to do that. Okay, that's fine. We know that in place of that, they were going to do something online, right? I had called that day one. What did we find out? Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest. God bless the man, right? He's literally our savior, Jeff Keighley. Okay, so, in the Summer Game Fest, going to have multiple phases. Well, who's on phase one? Warner Bros. So, okay, they are, in fact, going to do an online show in the same way that they were going to go to E3 and do all this stuff. They're going to do the exact same thing. I truly do believe that. Maybe it's not all at once. Maybe they split it up. Maybe they do two games. Maybe they do Batman and Rocksteady's game, and then later on they do Harry Potter, and then whatever else they got, right? I mean, maybe it could very well happen like that. Okay, so does that throw out their excuse of this thing? Because we're only. I know we talked about it, and people had said the schedule was going to go up for the Game Award, or for the Game Awards, right? For the Summer Game Fest. I didn't see it. I don't know if Jeff Keighley, if something happened there, but I did not see. Maybe at the time that I'm recording this, and maybe something afterwards happened. But from my knowledge, the release schedule, or at least I can't find it. We'll just end it there, right? I can't find if anybody announced something. Now we do know, again, EA announced their thing June 11th. Cyberpunk, they're going to have a broadcast specifically for Cyberpunk. Now, that is Warner Bros. I mean, it's CD Projekt Red, which is confusing because CD Projekt Red, I believe, is also in Phase 1, but they are not the publisher of Cyberpunk, right? Warner Bros. Is. So, do you count that as a CD Projekt Red thing or a Warner Bros. Thing? I think you count it as a CD Projekt Red thing because they don't have anything else to show, right? They're not going to show anything else. So, basically, and that's also June 11th, by the way. Remember when I said that companies would be really stupid if they do things all on the same day when you have 4 full months to space out your announcements, and now 2 of the things that we know are happening in EA and Cyberpunk is happening the same exact day. Does that make you as mad as it makes me? Because it makes me pretty mad. We know that, and we know Inside Xbox, right? Obviously, this upcoming Thursday, we know every single month they're going to do something, which is very cool. Honestly, that is a really cool strategy. Again, they're just absolutely nailing it. But we know this is coming. We know this is coming very, very soon, and there's no images. There's no the redacted page is blank as it was back. I mean, obviously not completely blank. There are things there, but it's as blank. It has just as much as it had back in January. So where are these images? We're at a point now in May where it's like, well, we all came up with as many timelines as we possibly could, right, to figure out, you know, what literally, how are they spacing this out? Is there a method to them spacing this out? It doesn't seem like it. It really doesn't seem like it, because at this point, if you had asked, and again, whenever I do something like this, people always say, well, you're always wrong, even though I have called a lot of things in the past, and there's so many videos to back that up, but people will always say that. If you ask me right now, do you think that they're just going to drop the images? I feel like my gut reaction would be to tell you yes. I don't know if we'd get any more teaser images. Now, here's what I will say. Because that's, again, kind of extreme. I don't think we're going to get them in the same way that they had intended them. So even if we do get them, I don't think it was according to their plan. Now, how are we going to know that? I truly don't know. I don't know. I'm just being honest with you guys. I truly don't know the answer to that. I do feel like, though, there was at some point a plan. I don't know what the plan was. A lot of it, was it like something comic related? Was it something kind of deeper? They were all on like Twitter kind of holidays, like national holidays, but like lower level holidays, right? They all lined up with that. But they skipped Batman's birthday in or like when he was first in the comics. They are going to, right, in a couple days, I believe, is the Court of Owls like first appearance. If they don't do something there, then they skip that as well, right? So you have all these things, and if they skip them, so that what I mean? Like, what literally was the strategy? And here we are. They could be doing this in another month. It could literally be a month from now or less, or a little bit more. Obviously, it could be like later June. It's totally possible. But we're within, a month and a half of this happening. I don't know because they have 3 separate collections, let's say, of images that they still have to release, right? Like 3 more groupings of circles, maybe more, 3 or 4, where they have to release them. If you release them like weekly, starting say next week, then that was not your strategy. So again, I'm calling that. I'm saying if they do that, sure, maybe we do get them, but it's not what they wanted to do. But my question to that is, well, what the heck happened? What happened? Because you were gonna do E3 originally, and so the images would make sense. And then if you're going to switch it to an online thing, well, it's the exact same thing. So then shouldn't you have still been able to do the images? And the answer should be yes. You should still be able to do everything as planned. If working from home, if they've been working from home, which I assume they have, right? Like, if they're doing an online show, which they are, well, then, it hasn't hampered them that badly because they can still do it. And again, these images, people have said, I've seen people in, the comments trying to defend them and saying, well, again, it's working from home, things are different. But, again, they're just, promotional images, and you have to believe that these are already done. It's not like they've never made a bat, because the inner circles is the Bat family, right? There's 4 of them. So, just, you have to have those images. Somebody has to have those images saved as, a PDF on their computer, right? That's gotta be there. Why can't you just upload it online, right? So, it's not like they're not done. They're clearly done. Same thing with, the trailer. It's very possible. Oh, actually, it depends, right? It depends. Trailers oftentimes do get made right before they release, and they're normally worked on, could be 2 weeks, could be 3 weeks, could be, over a month that they're working on the trailer right before it releases. So, if they do something, say, June 10th, let's just say that, they could release, it's a trailer. They could be working on it starting, right now. And, obviously, it's a small group of people that are working on the trailer, but they could be working on that for about a month. That could very well be happening. But that, well, yeah, they have to pick different scenes, and they're trying to basically weave a story together, right, to explain things. I mean, it's hard to do trailer, and to their credit, it's hard to do gameplay trailers, and I know I've said, I want, a gameplay presentation. Well, that's even more difficult, right, because you need to sit somebody down, and they need to capture them playing a certain thing, and maybe you need to have a voiceover, do stuff. I mean, they're busy. They're making a game. So I get that, when we ask even a small thing of them, I get that it's more than that, but to be honest with you, these images, they are just images. I mean, Photoshop, you could do these. These are very, very easy. It's just, again, it doesn't like bug me. Like, I don't go to sleep at night anymore because I used to. I don't go to sleep at night and say, oh my God, like, where are these images? When are we getting the next one, right? It doesn't like drive me crazy. But when you think about, I don't know, because there could be red flags. And when we see this game, sometimes it happens, right? When you see a movie, you see like a trailer, or you see a game, you see a trailer, you see gameplay, and like, there could just be something that sticks out to you, and you could say, I just don't know about that. It's like a red flag. And then, sometimes it's proven wrong, and you're like, well, maybe you're like paranoid. Sometimes it's proven right. Sometimes you can spot things very early on. Sometimes you can spot things in like development, right? If there's a ton of reshoots, or in a game, if it's been like rebooted a bunch of times, or if different situations can happen in games and in movies and in TV shows, right? And sometimes you can call them and you could say, maybe there was something wrong from the beginning. I don't want to say that this is like the first sign of something terrible for this game, but this is, and obviously the marketing for this has been disgustingly bad, but this is not a good start. It truly isn't, because these images clearly were supposed to mean something, and if they're not released, then what happens? Now, the final thing I will say is this. I do think it's very possible we do get maybe one more. They're either going to do, obviously, we can list off the only things that are possible. They do 0. They do, they just do them like bi-weekly or weekly, or however they can fit them in to literally get all the images released before they announce it. Or when Warner Bros. Eventually announce, because they have to eventually, right? And they haven't yet, but eventually they will announce that they're going to do an online show. Like, here's the date. Here, mark the date down. June 15th is going to be our online show. They have to announce that, and they'll probably announce that within the next couple weeks. In fact, we're seeing it, right? If EA announced yesterday that they're doing June 11th, so they announce it around a month before it happens. Maybe, a little bit more, a little bit less, give or take, for different companies. So Warner Bros. Eventually, sometime this month, literally this month, they are going to announce when this show is. Does Warner Bros. Montreal do something that same day or the day after? Or now that Warner Bros. Did that, is there a lead up and Warner Bros. Montreal jumps on that and they do things leading into this announcement? Something like that, I think, is very possible. But again, that wasn't the original plan, so it's a little worrisome, and like, why did you change it up so much? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I get it. You could say I'm complaining for the sake of complaining. I'm not. I do think there is an issue here, and it's something that's like bugged me, right? It's something that's like, why did they seem to have this plan that was convoluted? Sure, but you got to imagine they thought they had a plan, and then all of a sudden it has been just thrown out the window. There's no doubt about it that the plan with the images are gone. I get it could not be the biggest deal. I get that, hey, if they show us a trailer, they show us gameplay. I mean, I saw a lot of you guys in that gameplay video. You guys said, like, hey, if you give us the trailer, and I knew a lot of people would say that. I think, like, the majority opinion on this game is if you give us anything, we'll just be like, if you give us the trailer, we'll all shut up for a little while. We'll analyze the trailer, right? We'll figure stuff out, and then we'll come back and maybe we'll complain later. But, you know what I mean? Like, just give us a trailer and we'll be quiet. I do think there is a lot, to that. I do understand you guys thinking that. But at the same time, I don't know. The images is just something that's bugged me for a while, and one day I do want to know if there was a plan there. I hope they say something when they announce this game. I hope they eventually come out and say, yeah, we had planned to do this, and then it got kind of thrown out of whack, and we had to change things up. I want to hear that. I think communication like that is important. I mean, is it the most important thing in the world? No. I think it would help build trust, though. If they came out and they were very open about their plan of announcing this game, maybe if they even talked about that they know that the game has been leaked and the game was talked about, and they know they've had canceled games, and they know that we know that. If they say things like that, I truly do think that goes a long way to us trusting them a little bit more. I think, honestly, the biggest way to build trust is just to have a really good game, right? And then you could build trust and you say, okay, we know that they know what they're doing, and that's that. But there's other ways too, and that is, I honestly feel like, where they've lacked over the last little while, right? But again, just my opinion, as always. Guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think they had a plan with these images? Do you think we're still going to get them? How do you think we're going to, how do you think their plan is? When do you think we'll actually receive these images? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel podcast. Now, hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And again, like I said in the beginning of the video, guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. More Batman videos every couple days. If something happens at Inside Xbox tomorrow, I'll definitely, obviously, I'll cover it immediately, okay? So keep your eyes open for that, and we'll talk in the next couple videos, okay? Thank you again for watching, guys, and I'll see you there.